like the welcome flag. It looks like a
Hey, here we are at Fugitive Watch live stream. It's Monday night, 7 o'clock with Scott Castrita, Steve Ferdine, and we're going to be showing you what's going on at fugitive.com. Scott, what's happening?
You're Mark Hinch, by the way. I forgot to
Mark
say your
Hinch,
name.
right? Yeah, I am the one that runs this whole friggin' thing.
Yeah.
So what's happening, Scott?
Not too much or too much. There's always a lot's happening.
How's your dad doing?
He's doing better today. He's doing okay. He can hear.
Good.
He can hear now.
That's good. I don't know if you don't want to go into that or not, though, but anyway.
No.
Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Mark. You are the glue that holds this group together, Mark.
And Carmen keeps me in sync.
You and Carmen. I forgot to mention Carmen. Hi, Carmen.
Yeah, she's down there somewhere. So, well, it's hot. My air conditioner may kick on. My internet is spotty. So if it goes out, you can watch Scott and Steve talk until I log in from a phone or something. Like Steve's got random lights hitting the back of his wall because the sun's coming in through the windows now. And
thanks to daylight savings time.
Yeah. Time changes.
That's right. All right. So let's see. So let's do this. Let's take a look at obviously you can find us on fugitive.com, and that's the website Scott and Steve run. Also on Facebook and on Instagram. They have this awesome YouTube channel, which you're probably watching us on right about now. That's on YouTube. And then I'm at stolen911.com. If you have something stolen, you can post it there, and maybe we can find it for you. So we'll start with that. Okay. Let's start. I think we're going good.
Mark, let's also remind our viewers to hit the subscribe button and the like button. That'll help us out a lot.
Okay. Hey,
there's a comment
Tamika wants to know if there's any way she can help a situation where a police officer never did a report card for incident back in February 2024.
Well, I don't know where she's from, or I don't know what agency, but if they didn't fill out a report or they didn't do a card, there's probably still something in their computer system that shows that they responded. Yeah. And maybe the officer made notes. Maybe they didn't. Sometimes we would make notes and not write reports. Or
so Tamika, what you want to do is whatever agency this happened at, let's just say it was San Jose PD or the California Highway Patrol. You got to find out where. Okay, you go into that office, bring your ID, you give them the date and the time and your name, and you're saying you're looking. They have an incident log, and they should publicly be able to give you an incident log to at least show that the cops responded to maybe the same location you're at, and maybe they took your driver's license or your name and they ran it out. And that is, anybody can get that information. Actually, you just got to go and act for an incident log for that day. And sometimes, like in Morgan Hill, when I do it as a private investigator, sometimes they give it to me right there. Other times they say, okay, we'll mail it to you in a week because we have to go find it, so they email it to me. So whatever police department it happened at, you walk into the front office is the best way to do it. Bring your ID, give them the date and time, and the officer will try to look up. If they give you the runaround, politely ask to speak to a supervisor until you get this resolved. Okay, that's the best we can tell you there.
Most agencies, it have everything computerized now. They can track stuff down.
Right. Just got to give them the exact date and time.
Yeah,
and maybe even location.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So if you have any more law enforcement questions, please call Scott and ask him. Okay. Scott, please PM me. We can even talk by phone, please. Oh, she wants us to call. Okay, Steve, you got to call her later.
All right. No, she said Scott and Mark, not me.
She said she did that.
Steve's the guy that calls.
Steve's a phone guy. Steve's a phone guy. Okay. So, so this is pretty cool, actually. So out in Sacramento. What the hell happened out there? This was really cool.
Well, that's the shooting.
Scott, you know a lot about this drone stuff going on. You had a drone. Now, normally drones are used to look for people outside and, perimeters and people running. But this time they used the drone to find burglars hiding up in the attic of the ceiling of the building.
Yep.
I have not seen that before.
I have heard about it. I have a family member who has gone through all that training, and they're able to use those drones to go in and clear houses, clear rooms, and go into dangerous situations. And those things are, they train to fly them. And I don't know if you've seen like a lot of real estate companies are using those drones. They're flying them through houses.
Yeah.
And they
can also, insurance companies can use them to make sure that your house is insurable still.
Yeah, so there's a wide variety of uses for drones. And in this case, this was really cool right here.
Let's go and watch it and let's see what happens here. This is actually very cool.
Well, you can run, but you cannot hide from a drone. Sacramento PD sharing this video of two officers from the uncrewed aerial system team helping the Rancho Cordova police with a burglary investigation. Fascinating to watch this all unfold at a business on Gold Meadow Way last month. Yeah, you can see those pilots there launching that drone right into the attic of a business located not one, but two suspects that were hiding there in that crawl space. Wow, both are now behind bars on burglary charges.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is,
it's amazing because I was told my son-in-law who's trained in this stuff, and he told me that they can bring those things in, and that drone will stop. It won't hit whatever object, because look at all that stuff hanging, holding the roof up. And they flew that drone in there, and they're just they got to take it around, and that thing they can maneuver and get that thing in there. It's really, talk about. It's sure better than poking your head up there with a flashlight.
Yeah.
Back in our day, huh?
Did you guys see the video of Drake throwing the shoe at the drone in Australia? That was I went to his suite. I can see the guy in the attic like trying to swat the drone down, but
they found the shoe, by the way.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I saw that. So in this case, they send the drone up there just to confirm the guy's up there, right? Because what they're going to do, and we've all been in a situation with someone hiding in an attic before, they try to act like they're not there. They're going to hide, so maybe you'll go away, right?
Yeah.
They won't say. And what you got to do, I don't know, before, back when we were all doing it, there wasn't a lot of camera systems that we could put up there. We had to either send the youngest guy or the smallest person up there with a flashlight, or in one case, I was at a guy hiding in an attic in Daly City once on an auto theft case, and we sent the dog up in the attic because he was a wanted felon, and and they sent the dog up after him, and he came out crying. But
Mark, I remember I had a case where we were chasing a fugitive who ran into a house, and this lady who lived in the house, there was something wrong with her. She must have had like 100 cats. So every square inch of that house was covered with cat poop. The house just stunk horribly. And
you're allergic to cats. You're allergic to cats.
Yeah, I'm allergic to cats. And the guy was hiding in the crawl space. And I remember having to stick a little. We used to carry these little pocket mirrors and get some chewing gum and stick it at the end of a baton with the mirror looking in the crawl space. And we wound up having to pick a dog up and shove the dog up into the crawl space to go get the guy.
Right. So we all had mirrors too, but in this case, he's up in the ceiling and he's way down this one side to the right. So, small drone is perfect for that. You get it up there, left, right? And has your relative used it in that sense yet?
Yes.
Yet, Scott?
Yeah. He told me about how he went in and cleared a house with the.
And now they can the drones are even smaller. They have these little DJI ones, tiny.
And the officer safety element, Mark, is just you can't put a price on it.
Think about
I can only hook up a taser to the drone.
Yeah. Well, think about how much a taser. Yeah. Think about the money that they're saving, because a lot of these agencies, not every agency can afford a helicopter. and now, but they can afford these drones. And back when we used to do yard searches, remember?
Fraction of the cost.
Yeah, and you could now clear a yard and go from yard to yard and leave that drone hovering over the top of the yard you just cleared, and then move it to the next yard. Move it. You don't need a helicopter, and you know, it's the technology is here.
I never understood the public outcry for agencies having to have hearings and public input about getting a drone. And I said it's just a safer helicopter is all it is, you know.
Well, back then they were worried about somebody spotting their weed, I guess. But
think of the money saved from all the workman comp complaints that aren't going to happen. Imagine sending Steve up in the attic to get the guy, then he gets hurt, breaks his arm, his back, whatever. Now you got to pay him all this workman comp money over the years, but now they send the drone up, right, Steve?
Exactly.
I was trying to figure out how that guy was walking on that roof, because those roofs
you have to walk on the beams. You have to walk on the actual beams.
Yeah.
You'll go through.
Those ceilings are suspended. They're not solid.
Right.
No.
Right.
But
But I think that they have to walk
through
on
one
the actual
once.
beams.
Working security. It's serious. I fell through the ceiling.
Oh, that's
But
good.
yeah, well.
All right, let's
I
see.
won't
Okay, so now we have Highway Patrol was involved in a shooting. I know nothing about this. Monterey County DA releases video of CHP officer fatally shooting James Combs. You know, Steve, I don't know anything about this case. Give us the 10-second
the officer responded to a vehicle accident and was checking on the driver and stepped over the railing you can see there to go check on the driver, and you can hear him saying, "Are you okay?" And for some unknown reason, the driver just starts approaching the officer armed with a knife, and doesn't say a word and just keeps approaching the officer, and the officer's begging the guy to drop the knife, and eventually has to shoot him.
Let's watch it. So he has a knife. Okay, let's watch.
Knife away, man! Don't put the knife away!
That was the moment, the violent end to a short confrontation on Highway 101. You can see here there is something in the man's hand. CHP says it was this 4-inch knife. Let's rewind and show you what led up to the shooting. In the beginning of the video, the CHP officer can be seen approaching the vehicle after it had crashed into a guardrail.
Hey, man, you okay? You okay, man?
The man exits the vehicle holding a knife. The officer commands the man to put the knife away.
Put the knife away!
A total of 7 times while walking backwards.
You can hear the fear in the officer's voice. As the officer is retreating, he's getting closer and closer to the patrol vehicle, and then you see the officer and the subject, James Combs, leave the view of the camera. A few seconds later, you hear 2 shots being fired.
Yeah.
Can't hear you,
Oh, we lost Mark.
We lost your audio, Mark.
There went the.
Mark, we lost your audio.
I'm thinking I've been in that
There he
situation so
is.
many times where you're just thinking that you're there for some guy crashes car, and then like you've heard the officers like, "You okay, buddy? You okay? You're all right?" That's how any of us would handle something like that. And then that turns into this, and I'm going to say it. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I'm going to say suicide by cop, right?
Yeah, it just, again, I mean, I think this is about the 4th week in a row that we've shown an officer having to shoot an armed person with a knife. And again, this officer walking backwards, we talked about that last week. We had the same situation. That's really dangerous. You're trying to walk, and who knows, there's probably all kinds of crap on the road there
Probably a lot of
for him
debris
to
on
trip
the
over.
side of the roadway, yeah.
And
It all
if
happened
he-
Saturday evening, just after 7, when CHP was called to a solo vehicle collision on Highway 101 off Ralph Lane.
It looks like the officer is there to render aid, to make sure the subject is okay, since he had been involved in a crash, and the escalation by the subject happened rather quickly.
The man shot and killed has been identified as James Combs. The officer, Felix Prieto, has been placed on administrative leave.
Put the knife away.
I feel bad for the officer because no one wants that.
No,
Nobody wants to deal with that. And
no, when he went to work that day, that was the last thing. He just thought he was showing up to help somebody that was in a vehicle accident and didn't expect to have somebody. I mean, maybe the guy hit his head. Who knows? I mean, why he would do that? I mean, only he's going to know.
Yeah, not only that, but again, the officer safety element, you know, for the people who want to criticize the officer is that man was really close to the officer, and the officer's walking backwards. All would have taken for the officer to trip and fall backwards. That guy would have been on him like white on rice, man.
One bad step,
and that officer would have been dead or seriously injured from a knife attack. And
right.
You know, I tried to find the body camera footage, but I don't know if CHP,
they don't have them. That office doesn't have body cameras yet.
Oh, they don't have. Okay, so that's
so
why
they got that really good. They got that really good car system that's going forward, right? And then he's got a microphone that he's wearing.
Okay,
that transmits back to the car. Some of the offices have body cameras. Some officers have their, like me. My last few years, I have my own body camera I bought. But the Highway Patrol has not supplied all 7,000 of their officers yet with body cameras. They're still testing different systems. So certain areas you go to, they're going to have full body camera systems.
Okay.
Eventually, though, they're going to get the type where it goes on automatically, and then the officers drive in and everything just uploads. So the car is already set up that way. All the video in the car, officers can't even touch it. They pull into the office, it all uploads. So nothing can be tampered with.
Well, it's kind of funny because a lot of times, like with the CHP cars, everybody waits because, you know, CHP is going to have to buy so many of them. That's a huge contract to buy that many cameras, you know.
Body cameras?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're going to need them for the patrol, right? So 7,000 officers, let's say 4,000 are on patrol, right? Yeah, so you got to have enough cameras to serve each patrol office, and then you got to have the infrastructure to upload all that data. Then how long are you going to keep that data, right? I mean, I did a crash on my body camera. I filmed a crash southbound at 101 at the Two Rock there, the Rock Roads or whatever down there. And I know it was on body camera because I own the body camera. And then every day I would turn in the footage. 2 years later, I get subpoenaed for court. I'd already retired. And I had to do it, and I did a deposition. No one paid me, by the way. And I kept saying, you know, check the footage, check the camera footage. I know I was wearing a body camera that day. And the Highway Patrol had already dumped the footage after 1 year.
Wow.
You know, it wasn't a felony. It was just a minor collision. It was some sort of render, you know, maybe a complaint of pain or something like that. And the policy was, we don't want to hold on to this data any longer. Have to. So after 1 year, they dumped it. And I'm like, they had a lot of questions about who said what and who was faking being hurt and all like that. And I said, well, I had my opinions about it, and I gave my opinions, but the body camera footage would have made it so much better because you could have seen, you know, I basically thought that the one lady was full of shit, complaining about her injuries. I'm not a doctor, but I've been around enough. And I said, you know, if you would have watched my interactions with her on video, I think it would have shown what I was talking about. But you know, they're just not going to, you know, at this day and age, you can't just take an officer's word for it anymore, sadly, because so many officers have got caught lying about stuff. Yeah. So you have to, so the DAs and the attorneys are going to rely on the camera footage. So, yeah, but I just feel for that officer.
Yeah, he's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life, you know?
Yeah, just doing it.
And not only that, it probably sure scared the crap out of him, you know? It would me. Some nutcase coming at me with a knife for no reason at all.
Can't say nutcase anymore.
Oh, yeah, you can. You can say white on rice, too.
Oh, you got that, huh?
I did. It's a new era. We can say these things now.
Is that not politically
correct? See it, and if you see someone on the bridge, you can only call him a Yahtzee. That's a Morgan Hill joke, okay? Right. Okay, anyway. Well, let's not even go there. Let's not even go there.
Okay.
Right now. All right. People from the area here, they know what I'm talking about. All right. So We're next.
Is that the guy who was waving the Yahtzee
flag? The Yahtzee flag. Yeah.
The Yahtzee flag.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, okay. This is Allison Agatha Lawrence arrested for allegedly drowning dog at Florida airport. You know, we had our dog kickers on a couple weeks ago. I actually talked to the, remember the ladies that got arrested for kicking the dog in Pittsburgh. I actually talked to the owner of the dog. Gigi's doing really well. We talked. We're going to talk more as things develop. We'll be following the case. There's some arraignments coming up and stuff like that. Or we'll see how that goes. And then there's a lot more going on. There's other footage that hasn't even been released yet of the other side. Remember we were talking about how if you don't know what you guys were talking about a couple weeks ago, we had the story of the ladies in Pittsburgh that kicked the little dog Gigi over a neighbor dispute. Allegedly. No, it was on video. She kicked the dog. I'm done allegedly on this one. We were saying, oh, how come there's not footage of the other side? Well, there was. He just hasn't uploaded any of that. He has it all. And he called. He saw our story. He got a hold of me, called me, talked to him for a long time. There's a lot going on. There's definitely a history. The family had just moved in like a month earlier, and he had, basically he kept saying, you keep destroying my flowers, and next thing you know, daughter and granddaughter come out there and start causing them problems, flashing guns and stuff. And apparently the gun, oh man, there's all sorts of stuff going on. Anyway, It's gonna be interesting how that all plays out.
Well, let's talk about this lady.
No, I keep talking about the other one.
I know, but I watched that video, and I'm thinking to myself, how could she do that? Apparently, they told her that she couldn't take her dog on the plane, and she allegedly took. Of course, she's at the airport, so there's all kinds of videos of her walking around with this dog, and she takes the dog into the bathroom, didn't come out with it, and somebody found the dog. She had drowned the dog in the bathroom.
And then tossed the dog in the garbage.
Her dog at Orlando International Airport and throwing it in the trash.
58-year-old Allison Lawrence is being charged with aggravated animal cruelty. West 2's Justin Shecker takes us through the arrest warrant, revealing images of the dog before an airport employee found it dead inside a bathroom.
On December 16th, police say LATAM Airlines wouldn't let Allison Lawrence's little white dog board her flight from Orlando to Bogota, Colombia, due to improper paperwork. The lead Orlando police detective writes in a new court document that Lawrence is believed to have taken extreme and tragic action by killing the dog. A necropsy requested by Orange County Animal Services determined her dog died from drowning or submersion in water. Investigators obtained airport surveillance videos showing Lawrence with her dog Tywin at the ticketing area.
I would have taken the dog. Did she ask anybody to take my dog? I'll pay you. Take the dog to the pound. Do something if she wants to get on the plane. That frigging bad.
Why didn't you just abandon the dog in the bathroom and leave? Just tie the
there
dog,
you go there too. Yeah, I didn't even think about
tie
that.
The dog up to one of the pipes under the sink or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
God.
Yeah. She's seen taking the dog into a women's bathroom in Terminal B. Police say Lawrence eventually boarded her flight to South America after she's caught on camera waiting at the gate without her dog. Orlando police say the disturbing discovery happened inside this women's bathroom near the WestJet ticket counter. An airport employee told police she saw the suspect Allison Lawrence on her knees in the handicapped stall cleaning up a lot of water and dog food. When that employee returned to the restroom about 20 minutes later, she says she saw the suspect leave, and then she found the dog dead inside a trash bag. Inside that garbage bag, police say they recovered several dog accessories and a pink bone charm with Lawrence's name and phone number. Police say the 9-year-old miniature schnauzer was also microchipped, which linked to a registered owner named Allison Holt. Police say a search of state motor vehicle records found Holt is one of 3 last names used by the suspect. No answer Thursday at Lawrence's Claremont address. Lake County jail records show she posted her $5,000 bond on Tuesday. The lead detective writes in the conclusion of his report that Lawrence purposely drowned the dog, showing a lack of compassion and responsibility. Covering Orange County at MCO, Justin Shecker, West.
Wow. I don't even know how you can do that.
She didn't get on the plane. They pulled her off the plane.
Well, she was not allowed on the plane because she didn't have the proper paperwork for the dog. So then she got on the plane after she allegedly drowned the dog.
Oh, I understand that, but the plane never took off, right? They went and got her off the plane and brought her
No,
back.
they got her after she came back from Colombia.
Yeah.
This happened. This happened in December. She was just arrested this week.
So they kept it on the down low.
Yes,
hoping she would come back.
She
and they arrested
she
her.
left the dog's. She left the dog's tag with her name and information and address.
But she's got an alias. She's got. They said the report said it's one of 3 names that she's used in the past. Fraudsters, scammers. They do that. They have multiple names they use. They switch names up. They reverse a name. They add a different name. They'll just use. They have another name they use. And wow.
I mean, people would have been mad if she would have abandoned her dog by tying it, to a pipe in the bathroom and left him go. But that's
is that a felony? I don't think so.
No, but this, I mean, to do that, I mean, who? Well, she's gonna have a hard time getting a date after that.
But you would think that she would not only that, but you would think that she would have some emotional attachment to the pet.
This is Florida, right? In California, I think I have a feeling in California the bail wouldn't have been $5,000. Florida, though, maybe it's not that, but California, man, you're not going to do that to your dog.
Can you imagine if she was flying with a friend or her boyfriend or something, and let's go to the bathroom? Not with you.
Don't be allowed. It's incredible. That's an incredible story.
I mean, who's not emotionally attached to their pet dog?
And that dog looks like a sweet little dog. I mean, it's not even like a.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. Like it was a pit bull.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Crazy. All right. Okay, let's go over to
a little dog.
Let's go over to Memphis. We got a police need help to ID teens in a daylight shootout caught on camera. Now,
youths.
Now, Steve or Scott, don't freak out. These guys are probably under 18. Okay, so
they're youths.
They're probably not going to give their names.
Yeah, I got their pictures.
You got their pictures. Okay. All right.
I did. They released them.
And this was scary and wild. A shootout in the middle of the day, a 10-year-old child caught in the middle of it, and now we know how it started. Memphis police say they were trying to rob somebody for a pair of shoes. This happened a week ago, March 7th, on Yale Road between Raleigh and Bartlett. Memphis police say there was a group of 5 young people, one of them only 10, trying to steal shoes from somebody outside a convenience store. Well, the person ran inside the store, and that's when somebody in that car sitting across the lot, look at it. See the gun poke out?
Yeah.
Opening fire on those kids. Well, they have a gun too, and they shoot back. It doesn't appear anybody was hit. But later, the person, it appears to be a child whose shoes they were trying to steal, they came up on him. Yeah. And he runs for help.
Hey, let me in.
Right? So the homeowner did let him in and called police. Memphis police were asking anyone with information on those 5 young kids, including the 10-year-old, to call.
So did a motorcycle going by? So did they chase him to that house?
Yeah. What happened was these suspects here went into that store trying to rob the initial victim of his shoes at gunpoint. And the victim looks like he got on the phone and may have called the guy in the car and told him what's going on. And the guy in the car opens fire on these suspects, and which gives the first victim time to run out of the store. And they get in the shootout with the guy in the car. Then they went chasing after the guy they tried to rob of his shoes, and the guy. The victim runs into a yard, and there's two little kids playing in the yard, and he puts them in danger.
Yeah,
he's yelling at them, let me in.
Steve, this guy, he doesn't even drop his Coke.
Nope.
No. So I was watching one of the other reporters, and she's standing in front of the door, and she says that the business owner in this establishment knows these youths, these children, and they come in all the time, and they always come in with guns. So he posted if you look, there's a sign that says no guns. So I'm confused. Well, the guy in the black car didn't bring his gun into the store. He stayed outside with it. And, but he says these kids come in his store all the time with guns. So he had to post a
no guns allowed sign.
So what was the date on this?
This just recently happened. But this was in Tennessee. I don't know if Tennessee is one of those any fool can carry a gun states.
Oh, there it is.
Beep. I need that buzzer. But you can't carry a gun in that store because he has a sign. I'm sure
he has a sign. So I don't understand how that happened. There's a sign.
Now is that little guy who's with them that's allegedly 10 years old? Is he a victim or is he a suspect in the eyes of the public? In the eyes of the law, because they really sounded, the reporter really sounded concerned for that 10-year-old who's with these guys.
Isn't the 10-year-old the one that they were going to steal his shoes?
No, he's the little guy that you see him with the four guys.
Okay. All right.
No.
All right.
No, the guy that stealing his shoes, the guy you see running across the backyard asking, let me in.
All right. Okay, well, we're moving on to.
So if anybody knows the name of these youths with guns, please send us a tip at tips@fugitive.com.
It's a serious thing, folks, but I'm laughing. We laugh because it's so absurd at this point.
Absolutely absurd.
Thank God no one was hurt. I mean, seriously hurt.
It just annoys me that people don't read the sign.
Well, and not only that, Mark.
I mean, seriously, man, the sign says no guns. But Scott, to be fair, it doesn't say no guns outside.
Okay.
But Mark, Scott and I had a discussion. People don't realize that those bullets, they don't care who they hit. Those bullets got no name on them, and it's a miracle that some innocent person in the shopping center or across the street or down the street wasn't hit and killed.
Can you imagine if Scott and I said that stuff while we were still active officers? It's just kind of absurd, the stuff that we see all the time, and rightfully so. We would have gotten in trouble for that, but that's just the way. That's the world that we're in. Officers see a lot of stuff that people see it all the time, over and over again, and some of them become very jaded.
One agency I worked with, we used to have the saying, your feet wouldn't even touch the ground. They'd transfer you. They'd find some place they'd find a hole to put you in so deep you'd never see the sun again.
Yeah, I remember, someone I know was testing at a department and admitted to like some minor drug use back in high school or something like that. And the recruiting officer, background officer, had them look around the room of all the other applicants and all the other police officers in the room and said, "See this room?" And he goes, "Ain't nobody here with a halo over their head." San Jose PD story, actually, guys.
Oh,
and I think that guy's pointing to you and Scott
because I wasn't in the room.
Anyway, all right. So let's go over here. Bay Minette police fatal shooting video caught on camera is leaked to media, huh? Bay Minette officer.
Yeah, apparently, if you're watching the video,
the lawsuit still pending.
Yeah, the people that are really upset, of course, are the family members who are trying to get a bunch of money. They didn't want this video going out, and I guess after I saw the video,
in your opinion, trying to get a bunch of money.
In our opinion, but after you see the video, you kind of get an idea why they would rather people don't see the video.
Let's watch the story.
Leaked video footage showing a deadly officer-involved shooting in Bay Minette. According to court documents, in 2022, Otis French Jr. was shot multiple times by Officer Brandon Thompson. The officer allegedly pulled him over for a broken taillight.
So the family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city, police department, and Thompson. But our area
perfectly broken taillight, pull him over find out what's going on. Don't have to write a ticket. You talk to the person, find out they're up to something else, and then obviously something like this happens. But broken taillight, bad registration, tin windows, no front license plate, pull them over, find out what's going on. You don't have to write a ticket. Anyway, here we go.
Mallory has been asking questions about how this video got out, and that's because the attorney representing the city of Bay Minette says the video was sealed with the U.S. District Court, and Ariel, only a few parties had access to it.
Yeah, that's right, Lenise and Cameron. Now, the leaked video is in two parts. It shows when French was pulled over, and then a physical altercation unfolded between him and Officer Thompson. Now, we do want to warn our viewers, this video is graphic.
This video is censored. The uncensored video is in www.fugitive.com.
46 bayonet. Send me EMS. I got one shot.
For the first time, we're seeing the graphic body camera footage showing a deadly officer-involved shooting in Bay Minette.
He pointed back at me like he was coming to me. And I shot him.
On August 20th, 2022, Otis French Jr. was shot several times after a traffic stop. A months-long investigation determined the officer, Brandon Thompson, was justified in using deadly force. Now, this video details a portion of what played out that morning. At 10:20 a.m., Officer Thompson is seen approaching the passenger side of French's car.
Window doesn't roll down? No. You have a driver's license with you?
What's the issue?
Well, you didn't use your signal back there, and I see why now. Is you have a light out on that left side completely. Mm-hmm. No big deal. Ain't nothing I'm gonna write your ticket on, but you're gonna have to fix it.
No big deal.
Thompson walks back to his car to issue French a warning. When he returns, the officer asks French to step out of the car to show him the broken tail light, but wants to pat him down first.
Turn your hazards on and come back here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just for my protection, I'm gonna pat you down real quick. You can turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Now turn around. I want to pat you down.
I can take it.
No. I want to pat you down.
Oh, man. I'm nervous.
No, I'm just not comfortable with people touching me.
Well, I hate it for you, but
While French was being
I
patted
can write you a
down,
ticket.
the officer appears to feel something on the left side
still.
and tells French to put his hands behind his back. What unfolded next led to French running off.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. Listen to me. I'm not. You're fitting to get tased. I'm not.
Now it's
Not.
French is seen running to the back of this house. The officer cuts him off on the other side and deploys his taser.
Got one run towards Range. Stay down! Stay down! Stay down!
This portion of the video is too graphic to show, but you can hear the audio as the officer deploys his taser while the two are on the ground and then fires several gunshots.
Again, you can see the uncensored video on our website.
I'm gonna kill.
For people, Steve, can you tell people what actually happened right there if they don't want to go see the uncensored?
Yeah, the suspect, you could see a circle there. He grabbed the officer's taser, and that's when the officer shot him.
And does the other video show that?
Yes.
Okay.
You can see it.
So if anyone's saying they're not showing it, they can go to fugitive.com and we have an uncensored version of the video. It's not on YouTube.
If you look at the thumbnail on the post, you can see the suspect actually pointing the taser at the officer.
Okay. And it's going to be on the video too.
Yes.
Right. So the family, this was not supposed to get out because there was a federal lawsuit going on. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, the family has an attorney. They're filing a federal lawsuit, and I listened to sounded like the attorney was saying that the suspect was afraid of the police, and that's why he ran, and that the initial stop was illegal stop. And
how is it? How do you feel like an illegal stop?
I think we'd have to wait to hear what the attorney says.
Okay, in my opinion, it's all fluff to try to get them to maybe settle or play this out, or the attorney is just bilking the family for money, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the attorneys they make bank because the attorney, if you get a $1 million settlement, the attorney's probably going to walk away with $750,000 of that,
right?
Because you're going to get 25%, and then he's going to charge you for all his experts and all of his people. I mean, we know how it works with the attorneys.
So, yeah, okay, let's watch the end of it, and we got something to say.
You can see the taser now in French's hand. Officer Thompson out of breath as other officers arrive and call EMS for help. The officer began performing chest compressions on French.
He's not breathing, y'all. He's not breathing. Hit me with the cat, Brandon. I shot him 4 times.
Now, Elise and Cameron, we did try to speak with someone from the French family, but they didn't want to speak today. They're obviously very outraged that this video was leaked.
Yeah, but I know that you did get a statement from the attorney representing the city.
Yes, I did. Now, it does read in part, quote, prior to the leak, only appropriate law enforcement officials, court officials, and the French family, as well as their attorneys, had access to it. Now, this was done in acknowledgement of the sensitive nature of the video and to protect the investigation and related court proceedings. Now, it goes on to say, while it is unfortunate that the video was released by an anonymous source, the city will continue to respect the process and proceedings in the federal court.
And Ariel, do we know if Bay Minette police are investigating who leaked the video?
Yeah, Cameron, we've actually reached out to Bay Minette to try to find out if they are investigating how and who leaked this video. And we'll certainly let everyone know what we find out.
All right. Thank you, Ariel.
Wow. Yeah, it's
you can hear the poor officer just almost hyperventilating. He's so upset from the shooting.
Yeah.
And again, something so simple as you pull somebody over because their taillight's out or they didn't, and he wasn't even going to write him a ticket. But I understand why he would ask him to come out. He wants to show him. So I've done that. No, I want you to come back and so I didn't just pull you over just to pick on you. You really have a taillight out. You need to get that taken care of. And that's it. And it went from 0 to 100.
Right.
But, yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I'm just trying to think why the family would leak it out. They had access to the video, but it doesn't show their family member in good light if he's got the taser in his hand. And then the whole thing about being scared. So you're going back to the thing from 4 years ago now where, people are going to claim that the police are going to do something to him. But we got a body camera on. We got all this stuff. The officer's just trying to show him what he did.
The officer was as polite as could be.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out what's going to happen here. Interesting stuff. All right. I lost the lead on this next one. This is a fake ice truck spotted in Fife. Is that Seattle?
Yeah, Fife, Washington. Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's just go straight to it because I clicked out of the fugitive watch one here.
Investigators are looking for an imposter posing as an immigration agent. The suspect was captured on camera driving a vehicle with the word ICE on it outside of a Ukrainian market in Fife.
Fox 13's Frankie Thompson just spoke with department leaders as the search for that impersonator continues.
Tips have been pouring in here to the Fife Police Department ever since officers posted a flyer of that vehicle posing as a federal ICE agent. The assistant police chief tells me one of the tips spotted that vehicle here in the South Sound, inside the Amish market in Fife.
We are very proud to offer Ukrainian food.
This space looks, feels, and tastes like Ukraine, their home.
It does feel like home. We use our language in here. We cook our food. We bring our products from Ukraine to support Ukrainians. So it's very important for us to have a cozy and safe environment for them.
A safe environment that someone tried to intimidate and threaten with this car.
It was driving around our parking lot for about 5 minutes. They were driving back and forth, backing up and driving back, parking and reparking, blocking our driveway.
On Sunday afternoon, surveillance cameras captured this car with ICE labeled on both sides. To the untrained eye, it looks like a federal officer's vehicle.
With predominant decals that had a similarity to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security emblem and large letters ICE, which of course implies the Immigration Customs Enforcement.
60% of employees and customers at...
Who in the F is this clown? They got him, right? Did they catch him?
No, they're trying to get him ID'd, Mark. And my question is, what is his or their end game? Are you going to arrest somebody? What are you going to do with the person once you put them in handcuffs and put them in your vehicle? Are you going to murder them? Are you going to kidnap? What is your end game?
Amish Market are Ukrainian escaping the war against Russia. Store manager Olena Ray says they are here protected under the U.S. government's Uniting for Ukraine program. And she says she's not sure why this vehicle would target them.
Having people faking being authorities, it's even more threatening. It feels to me it's a hate crime, honestly, to come and threaten people who came from a war zone.
After about 5 minutes circling the lawn, a security guard confronts the vehicle and then it drives away. Assistant Chief Doug Newman with 5 Police Department says,
Hey, security guard, that's awesome. I'm so glad he did that because I don't care if it's a cop or not. I mean, this is weird.
Yeah, what is your end game? What is your objective? Are you there just to terrorize? Are you trying to take people into custody? What is your end game?
They are actively working with the FBI to find this car and driver.
It's very obvious that what that vehicle did, the emblems that vehicle was displaying, was a deliberate, provocative action to create disharmony and concern within our community.
The Department of Homeland Security confirms this is not one of its vehicles. Saying in a statement, ICE strongly condemns the impersonation of its officers or agents. This action is not only dangerous but illegal. Imposters can be charged with various criminal offenses both at the state, local level, as well as federally.
This situation is alarming on numerous levels, again, because of the political sensitivity of the environment that we're working in, but also because when something like this happens, we have partners at the federal, state, and local levels of law enforcement. It makes all of our jobs harder because then people question, is this a legitimate law enforcement action or is this an imposter?
The assistant chief says he is reminding people to know their rights. He says regardless of the law enforcement agency, people have the right to ask for credentials when stopped by an officer. And he says you can also call 911 to confirm an officer's legitimacy. Reporting in 5.
Yeah, so I mean, I saw that it had no license plate at all, and this says ICE detectives on there, right?
Law enforcement.
I did not see that.
ICE.
I don't know what that says, Mark.
Yeah, I can't see with
it. Almost says deliveries.
Yeah. Wouldn't see? I was gonna say like.
I almost think this. I think that word is deliver. I can't make it out, but I think that word is deliveries.
What if you were an ICE company doing deliveries? I mean, I saw today. I saw this Challenger. It was all made up, and it had 805 on it, like the beer, and it had the beer emblem. I mean, I doubt it belongs to the company, but it had emblems all over it to make it look like that. And you see cars all the time, security guard cars that have stuff on them that look like police. They could be confusing. But
this guy went through a lot of effort. Look, he's got the ceiling, the roof of the car painted white, and he's got the numbers on top of the roof of the car.
Remind you of anybody?
Like a police car? Yeah.
Right.
Was there a Fusion to Watch guy doing that for a while?
Yeah, he had a SUV painted the roof white, and he had white doors, and he put the big old Fusion Watch emblem on the door, and he was driving around, and when he got stopped, he had bulletproof vest in the car, all kinds of, he was a wannabe.
Oh, wow. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that says deliveries. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it said detectives at first. Like, what is that? I don't know what that word is. So maybe it's some sort of weird college prank gone bad.
Something like enforcement or something.
So let's talk about this real quick. Any sort of marked government car, whether it be the city parks department or a police officer or this ICE vehicle, is going to have a government license plate on it, unless the car was a strict undercover car. Even an unmarked police car, meaning like the one detectives may drive around, is still going to have a government plate on it, an E plate here in California, or a U.S. government, federal government plate if it's here in California or anywhere in the government. But if it was an undercover officer, obviously he's going to have regular license plates. But any car like that should have a U.S. government license plate on the back.
He's obviously just a shit disturber.
Yeah, what is his objective? Again, Mark, I don't understand. What is this man's objective? Are you just trying to intimidate, terrorize people? Are you planning on arresting people and putting them in the back of your car? What is your purpose?
Yeah.
What are you trying to accomplish?
Guess we're gonna have to wait until they catch him, and hopefully we can do a follow-up on that one.
Yes, definitely. All right, let's keep going here. Miami police officer relieved of duty after driver allegedly assaulted by mob caught on camera. All right, this doesn't sound good.
No.
Investigation is underway.
That investigation stems from the assault call that happened last Sunday. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Trina Robinson.
And I'm Dewan Strader. Good evening to you. Nico Clemens is live at Miami Police Headquarters tonight with video of that incident you'll see only on NBC6.
You too. The video is intense and it's violent. So you'll see several people on bikes, regular bicycles, motorized bikes. They surround the man, then attack him in front of a Miami police officer's car. Then you'll see in the video, or what you won't see, is that officer get out the car to help the man until the assault is over. We have so many questions after watching this video, but so does the department.
So do we.
A brutal assault. A Miami police officer is off the job after this violent attack outside the night concert hall on Biscayne Boulevard Sunday night. In the video, a man parks in front of a Miami police officer's car, gets out, and appears to go over and say something to another person on a bike. The man then walks to the driver's side of the officer's car and seems to have a conversation with the officer in the car. Seconds later, more people on bikes show up and the man walks back to his car. The tree is blocking the camera's view, but that's when the encounter between the man and people on bikes appears to turn violent. The police officer does not get out the car.
He's destroying the car with rocks.
The chaos escalated.
Oh, wow.
Someone jumps on the man's car and smashes the windshield. Then you see the assault. Several people kick the man while he's on the ground. Then someone throws a bike on top.
Well,
did we lose Mark?
We may have lost Mark.
Yeah, we may have lost Mark.
He said he was they told him he might be shutting off his internet. That's what happens when you don't pay your bill.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're still going. If we are,
yeah. Well, I think we're still going, Scott. You and I had a little bit of a discussion before the show started about this. And
the officer is still in their car, but it seems other officers are.
Yeah, he's probably
Mark,
rebooting.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. So go ahead, Scott. What are your feelings on this?
Well, I know there was some comments on our Instagram feed, and somebody said, "Well, what was did you expect him to get out? He's outnumbered, and there's a bunch of what's he supposed to get out and then get his gun taken away?" Yeah,
I'm not sure what happened.
Mark. Mark.
Did we lose audio there?
Yeah, we lost you.
Did I black out?
You went completely blacked out. Yeah, Mark. So
yeah, I went one story too long, guys, by the way, because that was I went to that one. I had 7 queued up that we watched. So guys, I'll tell you what, we're gonna call it quits because I because of the heat or something, or having power issues here.
Are we still on the air, Mark?
What's that?
Are we still on the air?
we're still on the air, but yeah, I'm not going to keep going because I don't want that to happen again. So,
okay.
Yeah, but
So
we got.
You don't want to finish this Miami story?
No, it's not even queued up now. It all got cleared out of the thing.
Okay.
Everything went blank on my end, so I had to bring it up.
Well, we'll continue it next show.
Hey, the bottom line, somebody said, what'd you expect them to do? And I said, get out of the car.
Yeah,
we did have we had a short discussion about that particular story before the show, and that was Scott's position. Yeah, I do expect you to get out of the car.
I do expect you to get out of the car. That's your job.
So what was the how long ago did all this happen?
This was in the last week or so.
Yeah, it's crazy video.
Any reason why he didn't get out of the car?
No,
they haven't given it.
They haven't. The police chief says that there is an investigation. The officer's been relieved of duties, and that he will share the results of the investigation once it's complete. So absolutely no possible plausible explanation so far.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
so just keep in mind, I would tell everyone to keep in mind, and like Tamika had asked earlier about this event, generally a lot now, the way police departments are going, that a lot of the footage, a lot of the interactions, as long as the case has been cleared, a lot of that body camera footage, if you're an involved party, might be available to you, or it could be available to the public and they just redact the confidential stuff. So again, if you police departments now have to, especially in California and I'm sure in other states, have to release that footage or the incident as much as they can with the proper Freedom of Information Act request. Now, I actually did one recently with the Highway Patrol on a case that I was involved in on a stolen Porsche. And I guess I submitted everything too early where everything hadn't been adjudicated yet. So now one of the things I'm going to do this week is go back, see if the case has been adjudicated. I'm going to put all my requests in again because I want to get the footage of this, what went down, and see this process of this case I've been assigned to. But yeah, so like, if you need something from the police, just go there and at least see what they say about releasing the footage. Maybe you have to get an attorney involved, but generally they should release it.
I'm kind of curious as to, I'd like to hear what the officer's explanation was.
Let's make it a point next Monday. Next Monday, let's talk about this case since we got cut off, because a lot of people can't see what we're talking about, and our stories won't make any sense right now if they don't.
Well, that just as far as as far as the putting the show together, you got what, those 5 stories, Scott, where you can cut those in. Now we're just talking Fugitive Watch business here on the live stream.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's say goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you.
No. Okay, let's see real quick. Let's see what else we got here.
Well, let's remind all of our viewers that everybody that you see on Fugitive Watch on any of our platforms, whether it be Instagram, is to be considered innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. And all of our opinions, our statements are opinions, or we're
correct.
not giving legal advice, and so strictly our opinions.
Guys, we are retired. We can say whatever we want now. You don't have to like it. Just that we have our opinions. These opinions come with probably 80 years of law enforcement experience, right? Between the three of us?
Between the three of us, correct.
Yeah. So we have our opinions. There are good cops out there. There's some bad cops out there. Some, a lot of good people out there, a lot of bad people. So we are just giving you our opinion from a patrol perspective on what's going on here. And that's all we're doing. We're just seeing how we see it and try to explain it to you, try to help you guys understand from our point of view, what's going on. Correct?
Correct.
All right. Fugitive.com. Also at Stolen 911 is where you can find me. And then also don't forget on our Instagram page and Facebook page. Thanks a lot. Steve, Scott.
All right. Thank you.
Talk to you guys a little bit
next week.
All right. See you next week.